Okay, what's going on there?
She's in the basement.
Somebody call
Pulled her up. I tried to give her CPR. I pulled her up.
Police department! Police department!
Hello? Help!
Yes!
Please!
That fractured voice belonged to 37-year-old Jimmy Allan. On September 14, 2018, he reported finding his wife Amy's body in their Michigan basement. He'd performed CPR, he said, begged for help, but when officers arrived at 8:52 p.m., the house was dead silent. No sobs, no panic, just the hum of a suburban night. Until Officer Ben Horn stepped into the Allan home's basement, the ceiling so low he could touch it. Jimmy knelt over Amy's body, performing CPR. But Officer Horn saw three things that didn't fit. No ligature marks, just a faint bruise on Amy's neck. Jimmy's tears left no tracks on his dry face. When EMTs restored Amy's pulse, Jimmy flinched. Huh? What? She's fighting? Hope for his wife's survival? And he sounded annoyed. Minutes later upstairs, Jimmy exploded. He ripped off his shirt, then smashed a bowl of chips against the wall. Officers froze. This wasn't grief. This was rage. Jimmy spun a fairy tale marriage. We go rock climbing 3 times a week, grow our own vegetables. Best job I've ever had. But Amy's family arrived with a darker truth. Jimmy was a tyrant. He'd banned Amy from seeing her own son, Caleb, after Caleb escaped his abuse. And then came Amy's phone. Text notification pings. Thousands of texts to a man named George. Explicit, romantic. On the day she died, George V.O. I wish we could be together right now. Amy V.O. I'm ready to spend time with you in person. At the bar that night, while Jimmy argued about moving, Amy wasn't texting a friend. She was texting her lover, with Jimmy right beside her. Jimmy's timeline was precise. 6:30 p.m., drop daughter Ashley at football game. 7:58 p.m., Amy walks home alone, caught on surveillance. 8:05 p.m., he finds her hanging in the basement. But detectives noticed a critical flaw. That basement ceiling was only 7 feet high. Amy was 5'6". If she'd hanged herself with an extension cord, her feet would have touched the ground. And the cord? Found coiled neatly. No dust disturbed. No chair kicked aside. Just Jimmy's story. 3 days later, Amy was dead. Jimmy packed Ashley and their 5 cats and fled to Florida. When detectives finally cornered him,
Anytime during your marriage, do you know if she was unfaithful to you?
I don't think that would be possible.
Why is that?
an affair? I don't believe she had the capacity for that. They showed him Amy's texts to George. Audio clip Jimmy. That's crushing. I still don't believe you.
Shocking. Like, I can't even process it.
He passed a lie detector test. Inconclusive. The case was crumbling. For 2 years, the case went cold until Detective Rothman ordered an experiment. Sound effect, lab sounds, metal clanks, data beeps. Engineers recreated the basement. Same height, same extension cord, same weight as Amy, 140 pounds. The extension cord couldn't suspend her. Her sneakers scraped the concrete. The medical examiner changed Amy's cause of death. Autopsy report, VO.
Cause of death was strangulation asphyxiation, but the manner of death was undetermined, requiring additional investigation.
On October 16, 2020, Jimmy Allan was arrested at his Florida home 5 days before his wedding to a new fiancée. As cops cuffed him, he hissed, "This is how you sleep at night?" September 2021, Jimmy Allan stood trial for murder. Prosecutor Angie Borders promised the jury, physics doesn't lie, people do. The defense fired back. No evidence, no motive, just speculation.
Support the prosecution's theory, and their case did not add up.
The people want you to believe that Jimmy Allan, for reasons nobody explains or guesses or understands why, snaps after 15 years of marriage, brutally kills his wife, goes up into cover-up mode, does all of this cover-up, and then gets the police there at 8:52 to start showing them evidence of this hanging.
They also pointed to Jimmy's search history that night, suggesting that murder was the last thing on Jimmy's mind.
The phone searches they get from Jimmy's phone that shows that he's looking at searches for Jim Carrey movies and other Showtime shows, the exact shows that he had told police that night that he had watched.
Amy's son Caleb took the stand, voice trembling.
I stood up, pushed him against the wall, and there was a second of fear that came over me, and I realized what I was doing, and I let up, and then I was spun around, or maybe I turned around, and then I was choked from behind on the floor for multiple seconds. It felt like forever during the incident, and I was gasping for air, grabbing for anything, trying to get away from him.
Then came the EMTs and cops who'd witnessed Jimmy's chameleon grief. Officer Horn.
I was definitely looking for any injuries, whether it be from a hanging or otherwise, and I really didn't see any sort of typical injuries that I would have seen in a hanging, so I definitely took note of that.
Later in the trial,
A nurse who treated Amy delivered the kill shot. No ligature marks, no petechiae, broken eye vessels. That wasn't a hanging. Someone strangled her with their hands. Then the courtroom doors opened.
other than Mystery Man George.
And was there occasion where you came to know a person by the name of Amy Allan on the internet?
Yes, we spoke online often. We talked about life. We also, there was a little bit of sexual content. That's what we talked about.
He confessed he and Amy had met twice, once for coffee, once at a hotel. Things happened. On the day she died, she texted, "I love you. I'm ready to be with you." I wrote back, "I'm in." Jimmy stared straight ahead, no reaction.
Elizabeth Buck also played a crucial role in the prosecution's case. During her testimony, she took the jury through the extension cord experiment we mentioned earlier.
The first question that Detective Rothman asked was, can an extension cord suspend 140 pounds? The testing was performed. The answer is
Jimmy's lawyers attacked Amy's character. Ashley reversed her story, now claiming her mom was a violent drunk. BAC was 0.09% at death.
Did you notice anything from your vantage point that was a problem that behaviors or issues that you saw when your mom was drinking alcohol?
Two things, yes. My mother overindulged in alcohol frequently, and she became intoxicated very easily and frequently as well, which would cause her to be not herself at all. She would be meaner and more violent.
Their forensic expert, Dr. Diaz, said, "No neck muscle damage, no defensive wounds. It was suicide." They argued Amy was depressed. Defense lawyer, VO. She lived a double life, isolated, ashamed. The guilt of her affair made her snap. Prosecutor Borders replayed Jimmy's words from the night of the murder. "It can't be more than 20 minutes. Then she showed the basement experiment video, Amy's shoes dragging on concrete, slow and lethal. 20 minutes. That's how long Jimmy claimed Amy hung there. But if her toes brushed the ground, she'd have been struggling, gasping, kicking. Jimmy would have heard it from the next room where he was watching Ace Ventura. Absolute silence from Jimmy's TV room, because Amy wasn't hanging. She was already dead. The jury deliberated 6 hours. Jimmy paced, smiling weakly at his family. The verdict? Guilty of second-degree murder. Jimmy's face went blank. He wandered in circles. As deputies led him away, he gave his family a small, awkward wave. Jimmy Allan is now inmate number 247310 at St. Louis Correctional Facility. Sentence, 20 to 45 years. Parole eligibility, 2040. His daughter, Ashley, cut contact after the trial. Amy's son, Caleb, planted a tree in her memory. Its roots dig deep into Florida soil, a place she'd loved, and Jimmy had forced her to leave. Final line, slow, haunting. In the end, the basement ceiling was 7 feet tall, but Jimmy Allan's lies, they couldn't even clear 6. Jimmy Allan sits behind bars today, still insisting he never touched Amy. But the evidence tells a different story, of control unraveling, of a man who couldn't bear his perfect facade cracking. That 7-foot basement ceiling became his undoing, a brutal reminder that physics doesn't bend for liars. Amy Allan's tragedy echoes beyond forensics and affair texts. It's about isolation, about a woman who sought connection in secret because her home was a gilded cage. Her final text to George, "I'm ready to be with you," wasn't just romance, it was a cry for freedom. Jimmy played the grieving husband like an Oscar-worthy role, but in the end, the jury saw the truth. A chokehold leaves no rope burns, a performance can't fake physics, and no basement ceiling is low enough to hide murder. If this case chilled you, if you spotted Jimmy's lies before the jury did, smash that like button. It tells YouTube this story needs to be seen. We owe it to victims like Amy to keep questioning. Could you have seen through Jimmy's act? What would you have noticed first? Drop your theories in the comments. We read every single one. And if you believe stories like this deserve light, subscribe and hit the bell, because next week we're exposing another perfect husband and the baby monitor recording that sent him to prison. Until then, look closer.